To Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to bring you another reading for Cancer. Thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting me and keeping me safe. Cancer, thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares, and most of all for showing up. See, these two are wanting to show. Here we have our King of Wands and our Lover's card. So someone has decided, Cancer, either you're dealing with fire sign, there's Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius in here. I say Leos, could be a few of you. Leos. The fire signs. Determination could be if it is that you are just, you've decided, you have that innovation, you're looking at what you have to choose from, and you're making that choice, but you're being practical within that choice of, is this good for me, and where will this take me, and what can I gain from this, in the sense where you're looking toward the future with the choice that you're going to make, and you're very focused, because I can't seem to draw away from his eye. Either you're dealing with fire signs, you have strong fire in your chart, could be on the cusp of Leo. Here we have our Page of Cups, so a proposal of sorts. It is more of a small gesture, so starting something new, wanting a new beginning with someone that you have already chosen, or that you've been in argument with, that you want to come back to and heal. We have the two high arcana, Judgment card and Temperance. So again, dealing with Sagittarius, so it could be just Jupiter that you are following with your wisdom. You're following that innate wisdom that our King of that King of Wands has, where he's very patient, he's very innovative, he's very creative. Could be that you do have strong fire in your chart where it comes to either Leo or Sagittarius, or you're either dealing with a Leo or Sagittarius. I don't leave out Aries, but I don't feel that self-centered side where Aries would come in. Here we have the Judgment card, so it is a final judgment, or it is a judgment call upon your part, where you want to step forward and make an offer, or you want to ask for forgiveness, or someone else does. Here we see another card picking out. Here again, it is our King of Wands, so it could just be that you're dealing with someone who is a fire sign. Now, take it as it resonates. If you are trying to step forward with an idea to approach someone, then it is going in the right direction. It is a yes concerning the high arcana involved. And of course, it is the fire sign with the water. It's very passionate if it is that you're dealing with a relationship concerning the Lover's card, as in a particular type or a particular person that you want to deal with. It's very positive. It says you're looking for a yes or no answer for viewing this read. Cancer, thinking I did say thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares, but most of all for showing up. And here we see we have our Nine of Pentacles, and at the bottom we have the Hierophant. So it is having acquired the ability, or because of your ability, you've acquired that grace period where you can reflect on your wealth, or you have received some form of abundance, whether it is in knowledge or actual currency, or you've acquired something of legacy where it is your reputation. Here we have the Hierophant, so it could be from higher above, where you're being recognized as an authority, or you are taking steps because you have reached that level of the Nine of Pentacles where you can take authority. or that position of authority. It could be an institution as well where you work. Could be judgment from legal circles where you're dealing with someone who is either a magistrate or lawyer or bailiffs even, or you're dealing with procuring a home, you're dealing with agents, people with higher standing that have that power to help you step forward and attain more power for yourself. Here we have the Fool, so it is a new beginning, or you are stepping off into something new. Again, with that Page of Cups that we saw, you want to begin something new, or you want to start a new relationship, and you have the faith, or you're checking to see that you do have it, and you're getting that confirmation by listening to this read, because you do have the faith within the self to step forward, and we see change coming your way because of a victory. Again, that Hierophant is someone who can give you that leg up, or you have the information and the knowledge, the understanding, again with the Nine of Pentacles, to make a particular and lasting change in your life. Something is coming that you've merited, you've done the work, and because of the Nine of Pentacles, you are going to have that change come. Seven of Swords and the Six of Swords with the Strength card and the Three of Swords. So we're going from 3, 6 to 7. So again, it's a sequence, but we have the courage and the strength again with the Fool card. You will have the victory, and because of that, because of your determination of wanting to, because this becomes 8 of Swords, you're going to have that stability, that sense of, I don't want to change something because the change is coming. You're going to hold fast to that change that's coming. Again, it could be mindset for most of you here, because, or most of you viewing, because it is the Swords where we see the Six of Swords, or it could be physical movement where you change where you live, or you change your attitude. It's big change, but it's going to last. It's going to stick. It's not change and then change again. It is change for the better, because you've earned it. Cancer. I'm using the Stained Glass Tarot by James Edward, and the Oracle deck is the Herbal Astrology by Adriana Ayales. The spread is the Celtic Cross, and this is your July read that I'm doing. I think it's the moon is in, it's just the second day of the full moon, so it's still in Capricorn. Cards are pulled at random, so Saturn is in retrograde as of, I think, today. The retrograde is taking its shape, so reflection on what was. A lot of people, things, places from your past is going to come up into your emotional setting, and being that the moon is in Capricorn, it could be tough for some of us, or it could just be very practical processing of emotions where you go through and you come through with more of a steady mind. For some, not everybody's going to feel that way. Some of us may have difficulty, some of us may not want to face certain things, but then you take it as it resonates. Queen of Wands suggests here for July that you are very independent, that you are, either you have strong fire. Again, we saw the King of Wands earlier, now we see the Queen. So choosing your match, maybe for some, that you are choosing the right person, but then everybody that we choose is the right person. It may not turn out that we get what we want from that person, but they are the right person for the time that they are with us. The lessons that they bring are required of us to learn through them, and hence that makes them the right person, even if it ends in a negative. Don't know why I felt I had to say that, but Cancer, you know what I'm talking about, because we saw the King of Wands, now we see the Queen of Wands. Very fiery, very passionate, very independent. If you are female, then you are in your element of taking hold of what it is you want and moving in that direction. Helping others is another of her qualities, where she steps up and she helps someone, giving them the leg up. In other words, bringing them to the position of choice. Again, where we see the King of Pentacles and the Queen, the King of Wands with the Queen. And this card was pulled out with her, but it didn't fall, it just stayed halfway out. So Four of Swords is their conversation, contemplation of conversation, wanting to speak or wanting to talk of truth, something where it is a healing conversation. Again, truth being that it is the swords, and her being that she's determined to follow through. So she's quite honest is what I'm getting from this here, but very contemplative. So challenges in that you will find it in yourself to speak out, to speak with, or to talk about something. Again, I was going there, but now I thought of it. So here we have the Hierophant. So we saw this card earlier. So you're really thinking along the lines of independence and having the authority and taking the authority, and being that you know the difference between right and wrong on a mundane level. And it is here where you are doing the right thing. You're wanting to do the right thing. It's above you, so it's on your mind, and having to speak or having to deal with a situation. I see hospital here, I don't know why, because it's institution as well, huh? So it could be that you were dealing with someone, or you've had to go through an operation and you've come through it, or you have to go through a procedure and you're thinking that you should. Yes, if it is, that it is for the best. Here we see the Three of Cups. So again, it could be conversation that needs to happen, reconciliation with the family, wanting to deal with family, wanting to have that communication on an emotional level. Again, we're looking at the Queen of Pentacles with the Three of Cups. So quite passionate in that communication, or wanting to have that communication. This is where it's been. So this is the root. So it is reconciliation for some, could be third parties for others, but I don't really pick that up very much here. It is a setting of celebration. So could be that you're dealing with a sisterhood if it is female. Again, it is feminine energy. It is that knowledge, that understanding, that expansion of understanding. So learning something new, going through the process of dealing with a third party and coming to terms with, having that ability to speak about whatever it was, is where you're at now. Meaning that you acquired the understanding, you've acquired the knowledge. It's brought you up to having some form of passionate connection, and knowing that you need to make a choice. You want to choose. And again, we're dealing with family, we're dealing with friends, we're dealing with work colleagues, could be dealing with air signs, could be dealing with fire signs. We're looking at communication on a higher level. So wanting to ask for marriage for some, wanting to get married, wanting to have a proposal come, wanting to take a relationship to a higher level from an institution. Could be people that you know from school. If you're graduating, wanting to reach that level of graduation, wanting to go on your own after graduation for some, having to choose between getting married and taking on an independent life for this next cycle, meaning for the next 3 to 4 years. Here we have the fifth sword, which is the ace. So you've graduated, or you've come through with a victory. You've learned something. The truth has come forward about something, someone, and you've come to understand that you need to make a choice because of that information. Here we have the moon. So again, secrecy. It is deep within. It is knowledge. It is hidden from us. It is truth that is to come, or that is deep within us. It is that hidden knowledge, hidden understanding, being that you already know, following your instinct. We are full moon now when I do this read, so looking toward the new moon would be toward the just thinking about it now. The new moon is in Leo at the end of this month. So you're looking by the 24th. If it is, you're looking for an answer. If you don't see change, then you would look for the full moon in Aquarius in August, because this moon has timing attached to it. So I'm going with the readings I've been from June to this read. It's based on the moon. So I did the last reading in the new moon, coming into doing this read for July and the full moon. So if you're looking for an answer and you're waiting to see change, then you would either follow the next moon phase, which would be the new moon in this month coming toward the end, or you would go further and look toward the full moon in August, which would be again a month from now. So it'd be the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, depending. So again, it is hidden. It is hidden from you for the time being. It is deep knowledge. It is inner understanding. If it is that you're waiting for proposal, you're waiting to see when it will come. Well, you need to know that it will come and have that faith, because we saw the Fool. Six of Swords is where you are. Your mind is at ease because you got certain truths. You have a certain understanding. You have more knowledge. You have an upper hand, in the sense where the Hierophant is showing as what is above you. So your mindset is in deep understanding. Again, following with the moon, you have that knowledge that may be latent, or it could just be you're keeping a secret of what you know. But it has your mind at ease. And if it is that you're thinking you want to travel, then why not, Cancer? It is summer. You can take your time and decide where you want to go. Again, the mindset is that you're leaving a certain mindset behind and changing for a different one, where we saw earlier with what is to change is going to stay. So if it is a mental attitude that you're changing, you're going to stay with that mental attitude that you changed from into more positive, because that's where this card comes in. Here we have the Page of Cups, so a proposal of sorts, wanting to make an offer, which is to start something new, a new beginning, a new relationship, or that sense of forgiveness, depending on your circumstance. Either way, it's very creative. It is outside of you. It is not you that has the idea of a proposal or a creative idea. It is the people around you, certain individuals that you may be dealing with. Then we have the Three of Pentacles, where we are afraid that we will be cheated. The fear is in that what was done in the past may come into being revealed. And if we're keeping secrets, then we don't want others to know about third-party situations that we may have been a party to. If it is that this is a reversed sword, then it is lies that was told. And if it is that is in the positive, the victory in itself is to uncover that truth which will be uncovered. And then, of course, that fear of being handed or dealt with in an unfair way, will dissipate. The fear in itself is that I was cheated on or I cheated someone, because that would be the fear, the negative of this. Cancer, I do apologize. My device just stopped recording when I was on this card. I think I ended with being that there would be a fear of being cheated or cheated on. Again, calling up what was done in the past as third parties go, having third parties. I continued without realizing, and I pulled our Queen of Cups so that you come into your own read with your discernment. Here, her cup is open. She is receiving or ready to receive, but not without discernment. Her wisdom is related to the moon. Again, there is a forgiveness here. Now, what happened when I had pulled her, the cards separated to show the two. Where is it? The Two of Wands. The cards, the deck just separated when I was holding it, and it came up to the Two of Wands, saying that the plans, or the plan, if you had made a decision between June and, well, where we are now, the 12th of July, when I do this read, if you'd made a decision prior to this read, you're going to change, and that is confirmed by our Chariot here. Then I also, no, I didn't also, that's when I went looking at the bottom of the deck to see what would come to the point of you being more discerning. And we have our Knight of Cups. So the Page of Cups becomes the Knight of Cups. So someone is growing through the stages wherein you, of course, are seeing that change from them wanting to come into your space and give an offer, ask for forgiveness, or offer forgiveness, depending on what side of the coin you lie on as third parties go. And here your experience, what is rooted in your reading is concerned with third parties. So it could be that you met at a party, or that you had a party, and then all the truth about, or all the lies had come about from there about a third party. And here we see the reflection in the Queen of Wands. I mean, take it as it resonates. If you are dealing with someone who is involved with third parties, or if you are just seeing your own reflection of being independent because of third parties and wanting to be more discerning and forgiving, now is where change is coming, because you have received certain truth, or you will receive certain truth coming in with our moon here. That Knight of Cups is still a little unsure of himself, because that is what it represents, that there is still an uncertainty. There's a wounded feeling coming with this cup, this offer towards you. And of course, there is a plan, and the focus is on having this offer come. Again, this is going to bring the change, wherein you will either change your mind because you're coming into being more discerning and say, no, I don't want, or you'll change your mind to say, yes, I do want, because you want to forgive. I get that sense of emotional connectivity and being that you are committed and feeling that commitment. But then we see the Queen of Swords here. So we're looking at more truth coming, and it could just be that the truth is in deciphering the lies that you were fed from the past, and the fear of being found out by you. The next person has that fear, and they want to come clean with the truth, or you will just get the truth through discernment, through your instinct. You will come into understanding and reading between the lines of what the lies were and finding out the real truth. And that in itself is going to give you a reason to move forward and make a change, or look forward to the change that is upon you or coming. And here we see the Eight of Pentacles, where you want to change either where you work because of third parties, or you want to go deeper into working to get through the situation of having to deal with third parties. You want to put your focus on where you work, or what you work, or what you do for work, and take your mind away from having to deal with third parties. And this is where you either move along physically, or doing your work, you will move along into peaceful mindset. And in there you will see that you can leave the scene or make that decision. Again, the Lovers card is where we had the decision to be made that we saw earlier today. Not seeing it now. I saw it when I was looking there. When we were looking at the Lovers card, the decision to leave is where the connection will come with this Eight of Cups. You may decide to leave, or someone may decide to leave. And then the Page of Swords is going to say, well, this is where all the truth is. Enough information has been gathered because I want to leave. And here we see the Five of Pentacles showing that there is a sense of not being wanted. So it could be the third party that will want to leave, or you will be so discerning that you will decide that this is no longer for you, this type of connection, this communication, and you want to leave that relationship. And of course, it is really a choice, because you'll have all the knowledge, you'll have all that understanding. And then I went ahead and I pulled the 41, which is the poppy. And let me just make sure this is still working. Yes, it is still working. Okay. I have to be really careful. I have to double check stuff for my recordings now, because it went silently. Last time it cut off, it made a sound, and I was able to retrieve. All right, so 41 is the poppy, and this is where we have Neptune and Saturn coming together. And I had mentioned that Saturn is in retrograde, so we're really going over information. We're meeting up with people from the past. We're really coming to terms with what went on. We're facing situations. We're looking into changing our attitude, our position. You in particular having the Hierophant means that you're holding up, or you have certain information about what went on in the past, and you're making decisions based on that. Your decision, actually, you'll probably make it in the month of August, wherein the full moon, or the new moon rather, is coming up at the end of this month, to be on a sooner than later decision that you would want to make, and it would be in Leo. And if it is that you want to wait until the full moon, or you feel that you're not ready and timing will take you to the full moon in Aquarius, where in your mind you'll have more of a hold or a handle on what it is you want to do, and that will bring us to a month from now, on the 9th or the 10th, within those days, because that's where the moon card brings in the timing. But as I was reading, I went right to the guidance, because, well, we know the poppy is based on very heavy medical drugs, the morphine, the heroin, and the opium. But we're looking more at the guidance, and if it is that where you are, I mean, if you want to see how deep, if you've been through surgery or if you're dealing with someone who's been in the hospital, then it could relate to that, where they are healing. And if it is that the third party in itself is not on a negative, the openness that you have here and the new beginning that is showing here, and the reflection of the desire to continue working is here, then it is a success for the person or for yourself if it is that you've been through surgery. Now, if it is that it is on an emotional level, where it is all dealing with third parties and lies and deceit and dealing with that addiction of being involved in third parties, that is where you're coming to pull away from, or you're coming to terms with, and your mind will be at ease because you are opening up to that forgiveness and understanding and taking the higher ground through the deeper sense of knowing that if it is an addiction, then it is best interest on your part is to forgive and move on. Because of the addiction, you will make that decision. So here we read with the guidance to show that it is going deep within. And Cancer, that is just so you. Going deep within to find the answer brings out the poppy. And the poppy's piercing dual nature and history are closely representative to that of the Devil card in the tarot. The Devil represents the darkness of material obsession, and in this case it will represent the moon, where it is hidden secrets and uncertainty. Here we see the material obsession or addiction and the pursuit of false ideals for the sake of vanity and personal gain. The constructs of this reality have enabled or contorted darkness that does not belong in the soul signature of this divine flower. Look deeper through the lens of her beauty to find that she embodies the mystical magic of the dream time, the place of unbound potential, where we regenerate daily and commune with the divine. Be aware that excess and abuse of mystical powers or substances means that you'll likely end up lost in her dark labyrinth. Break the temptation and addiction to thought patterns and experiences that lead to escapism and empty intentions, and align to the light found within the mystical darkness found in the dream time. So you may be wanting to pay attention to your dreams as well to help find that guidance. But know that you have it within you. The knowledge, that intuition, that you will choose the right path that takes you away from addiction or addictive types, lies and deceit, third parties and such. That your life is going to change on a profound level. And yes, there is an offer that maybe you want to propose, or someone may propose to you where work is concerned. And on that note, Cancer, again, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next read, love and light.